This program may contain adult themes. Listener discretion is advised.
Fashion, music, wellness.
And don't forget sex.
Mostly sex.
If it's trending, they'll be talking about it. Trend Radio is right here.
And right now, I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
And we always have something great to say.
Because it's us. So stay tuned.
You'll be glad you did. Good morning, Elise.
Good morning. How are you?
I am doing fabulous on this beautiful day. And you know,
It is beautiful.
it is. And this week in history was not so beautiful.
No.
Just a few days ago, we celebrated the 9/11 attack
I
on
hardly
America.
think it was really a celebration. It was more of, prayers and healing sent to the families that so tragically lost their loved ones. So with that, I just wish that we could give a moment of silence to those people who suffered terribly.
And their families, of course.
And their families.
So, Elise, I know that you do a lot of texting. But
I do a lot of texting with my clientele and some of my friends. Most of my friends. We text back and forth because life
Why?
has gotten so busy.
yeah,
And sometimes we don't have time to make a phone call. But a little text just says, hey, I'm thinking of you.
yeah. Some people have the time for that, I guess, and others, they don't. But
And some people make the time for that.
yes, they do. But what about sexting?
What about it?
What does sexting say about your relationship?
Oh, it could be a number of different things. Depends on the relationship. If you're in a monogamous relationship with somebody and the two of you go back and forth and send each other little tidbits of sexual fun, that can say that you're comfortable. It says that you're happy. It says that you want to just send your partner something absolutely fabulous, and that's your secret. But sexting can be a little dangerous too, because what happens is when you're not in a monogamous relationship and the sexting starts, then, there's a trust factor there. And what could happen could be really bad. It could ruin somebody's life. I've seen it happen.
Well, researchers looked at the link between sexting and anxiety between monogamous couples and not so monogamous couples.
Ah, okay.
And one of the benefits of living in a digital age like we are is that two people can kind of get it on whenever, wherever.
Oh, yeah.
Through their phones or
Exactly.
the internet.
Absolutely. Because we know that really where it is in your brain.
That's between your ears.
Between your ears, exactly.
And for those of you that don't know what sexting is, it's sending suggestive photos, videos, and messages. And it's something that a lot of couples choose to do, but researchers Bob Wozniak and Michelle Drunin of California State University, they decided to take a closer look at why people sext and what it says about their relationship.
Okay, so what do they say?
Well, the researchers were interested in learning about how relationship anxiety factored into people's decision to sex their partners.
Okay.
And, did it come from a place of comfort
Now,
or fear?
is this an actual relationship?
Yeah.
Okay, these are two people that are in a monogamous relationship.
Yes.
Sex. Okay.
Yes.
We have to clarify that because there are so many different levels of relationship.
Right. And they wanted to know if it came from a place of comfort or fear, and also to get a better idea of their motives.
Okay. Well, before you actually say what it is, I would say that if it's the people in the monogamous relationship, I would say it comes from a level of comfort, that their relationship is actually good and that they want to send these photos to each other and these suggestive messages to kind of give themselves a little something during the day. That's just my feeling.
And what about if they're a monogamous couple new in a relationship?
That is a whole different story.
Yes, it is.
Now that, if they're in a new relationship, I would think that they would send these photos and messages, whatnot, to each other, possibly out of a little fear. that they want to make sure that they have a hold on that person. And so they're sending messages and pictures to make sure that that person knows that they're thinking of them and they should be thinking of them also.
Well, we're going to find out just to see how correct you are, because Al, she always thinks she's right no matter what. You see that, right?
I don't always think I'm right. I know that I am. There's the difference. It's a level of confidence.
Mm-hmm. Well, 459 unmarried heterosexual undergraduate students and of an online study that measured their sexting behaviors, their relationship commitment needed to engage in sexting, their fear of being single, and their dating anxiety, and their attachment style, which means secure or insecure.
Okay.
So here we go. As it turns out, those in romantic relationships, no matter how long, were more likely to have sexted than those who said they were single.
Okay. I can understand that because they're comfortable with each other, like I said.
That's right. That's
like
right.
I said.
Just like you said.
Yeah.
Now, furthermore, if someone had a secure attachment, then they were more likely to sext. So
they're comfortable.
Yes, essentially, this means that people who were comfortable in their relationships felt comfortable being intimate via messages or sexting.
Exactly.
Now, this study goes against the researchers' original hypothesis, which guessed, a hypothesis is a guess.
It's an educational guess, exactly.
Yes, that sexting was driven by fear of losing the relationship rather than what it actually seems to be. It's a symptom of a happy and healthy one.
Yes, I was right about that. But I also do think that the anxiety and the fear is there with somebody who is not in that type of comfortable relationship. And that's where the sexting happens. Like, people send things all the time. They send, little nudies, little videos, little suggestive text messages all the time. And they're not actually in a relationship with the person. And that's not driven by comfort by any means.
Well, that's driven by need for attention.
Okay.
I would think.
Yeah, all right.
Now, of course, people can choose not to text or sext and be perfectly content with their partner. But if you were worried that all your sexting was some kind of cry for relationship help, it is not. If anything, this is further proof that the two of you are hot and in love. So sext away.
Very cool. But what about when your boyfriend or girlfriend is texting or sexting someone else?
Ooh.
So here's the thing. We got an email from Michelle, and she was saying how she's been dating her boyfriend for more than a year and that he's been flirting with girls online, telling them that he's single, doing video chats with them, even sexting and asking for their pictures. So when I confronted him after I went into his accounts, he said that his intentions were not bad and made it all my fault since I went into his accounts. Somehow,
I agree.
Somehow we resolved everything. But I found out recently that he was doing the same things and hiding it from me. I told him that we should end everything, and now he's asking for a second chance. What should I do?
If I was the guy, I wouldn't ask for the second chance. A snoop is a snoop.
And a cheater is a cheater. So what do you do about that?
Just go your own ways.
So how do you work it out? If, let's just say she didn't hack his accounts, but she did see it came through on his phone while she was having dinner, let's just say, and she was like, hey, what's that? and he showed her because it was right there. What do you do when the situation actually comes up?
Well, evidently, she wasn't fulfilling his needs as a partner.
I don't believe that.
He felt the
need to
text and sext and talk because guys have egos.
Do you really honestly feel that it had everything to do with her and not anything to do with him?
Well, the breakup had to do with her because she's a snoop. I would never put up with a snoop.
Okay.
And I would end a relationship over snooping. I absolutely would.
Okay, even if you were the one that was wrong to begin
Well, I'm a guy. I'm usually wrong.
with. No, but do you actually condone that if you're in a relationship with somebody and you're texting and sexting with somebody else on the sly and going online and telling people that you're single, even though you're not? And she finds out, why would she feel okay about that?
Well, personally, I wouldn't do those things.
I'm not talking about you personally.
Yeah.
This
I'm
is the
trying
vernacular.
to
This is the vernacular you. Like,
Yeah.
why? See, that's the thing. It can't possibly only be her fault. See, you said that it was her fault because she...
Let's go back to nature. Men are hunters.
Okay.
They hunt for food. They hunt for women. They hunt for a place to plant their seed.
Right.
This is the natural
But we're living
evolution of man.
we're living in a time where monogamy is it's the main thing. It's the mainstream.
Oh, I don't agree. We're living in a time where monogamy is quickly becoming a thing of the
So
past.
then let me ask you something. Would you sit down and have a conversation with her, say something like this? And this might be an acceptable way to say, hey, you know what? I adore you. I love you. And this just makes me feel good. It's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. I'm not touching anybody. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just playing on the phone. It's just a little playful fun.
I'm fulfilling my
Ego.
the needs of my ego.
Okay. And you say to her, but the reality is that I understand why you might be a little uncomfortable about it, and it's okay. You can do it too.
Yeah, that's fine.
Would you say
stay
that?
out of my account, and I'll stay out of yours.
But you want to have a life with this person, so you need to have some sort of honesty.
Well, of course you do.
Okay, so you need to be truthful with each other and say, hey, it's not going past this.
I agree with that.
But it's just
if you have the wherewithal to be that honest. I think a lot of people don't. I think they're afraid to be honest.
But the thing is that if they can do that, that could make for a really great relationship. Because if you're going to play anyway, then
play together.
Exactly, play together. So Michelle, that's what I'm saying. It's great that you worked it out. But obviously you caught him again because that's just what he's doing. As long as he's not going outside of your relationship, I think that, it's okay to have a little bit of fun as long as he includes you with it. Because believe me, after a while, he'll include you and you're just going to get sick of it. You're not even going to care because it doesn't really mean anything. Just watch and see.
It means something to the guy's ego. That
But
women
it doesn't,
still find him attractive.
But it doesn't
and
mean
still find him
anything.
desirable.
It doesn't mean anything to their relationship.
No.
That's the thing.
No.
It makes him better at doing what she likes because he feels good about himself. So that's my opinion on that.
I agree with you.
Oh, fantastic.
Well, I usually do.
Not all the time,
No.
but cool.
When you're wrong, I don't agree.
I'm usually not wrong.
So while you're sexting, while you're texting, while you're having sex, do you know there are changes that happen to your lady parts during sex?
Yeah. Well,
Just like
Tell
you
me.
need to feed a guy's ego, and his ego gets bigger. During sex, your boobs get bigger.
really?
That's right. Mother Nature was giving breast enhancements to any woman who was getting busy.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that. I guess everything swells, huh?
Yes. The guy's ego, a woman's breasts. This swelling, women experience the swelling of the breast due to increased blood flow during the intercourse. And this is from Leah Milhauser. She's an MD and OBGYN. And just how swollen do they get? It varies from woman to woman.
Do they go up an entire size?
They can, yes.
So then, if they're still excited when they're getting dressed, their bras are going to be a little tight.
Well, everything does go back to basics after the party ends.
I know, but that's why I was saying if they're still excited when they're getting dressed, if they're quickly getting dressed, because that could happen.
Well, sure, but they pop into that dress and they're looking a little more curvier than usual. I think
their bra's a little tight.
That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But, just like a guy's swellingness goes down and his pants fit a little tighter in the beginning, but after an hour or so,
and there you have it.
Well,
swellingness.
Well, that's according to the MD.
That's a great word. Swellingness.
Another thing.
Yeah. What's the other thing?
Your clitoris disappears.
What do you mean?
Well, during the arousal stage, just before orgasm, a woman's clitoris goes from being large and swollen and visible to it retracts up into the vaginal hood. So
really?
It almost disappears.
Really?
That's right.
Now, why does that happen?
Well, it's a natural part of the way the uterus and the vagina function during an orgasm.
I see.
You just don't hear this stuff, but you hear it right here on 920 The Jersey, and we are Trend Radio.
Yes, we are.
Make
sure you tune in.
That's right. You can't lose with the stuff we use. Well, now your vagina kind of gets bigger, almost like a balloon. And it's right before a woman orgasms, the upper 2/3 of her vagina actually swell up.
Wow. That's amazing.
Some researchers think that so
there's somebody actually there measuring this while somebody is having sex.
These researchers,
isn't that interesting?
I don't know. What do you got to do to be a
because there's
porn
here. There's porn, of course. They're not measuring anything.
Well, we don't talk porn on the show. We
not
talk
at all.
medicine.
But I'm just talking about people's lady parts and gentleman parts, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
There's a camera. There's a camera on, pornography. But this is something different. This is a study. And this is where they can measure the size of your clitoris. That's amazing. So what are they? I mean, I guess they're right there when people are having sex. I mean,
somehow or other, I don't think the sex would be as great when you're all wired up and
I can't imagine.
Videoed and all that.
I can't imagine.
Although there are what they call life models, and these are real people that get naked and do things for research like this.
And for science, yeah.
Yeah. We saw that last week when we were talking about the saggy vaginas. Which,
yeah.
These gals were life models, and they were actually right there while the instructor showed you how to wax and buff and whatever else you do down there.
Exactly.
So anyway,
exactly, wax and buff.
Yeah.
Love it. Mm-hmm.
Now, some researchers think that the increase in the cervix area heightens your chances of getting pregnant.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And of course, we all know that it accommodates for penis size.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. And of course, we had a show on this. If you listen regularly, you fill up with fluid.
Yes.
And you have heard on the show several times that men aren't the only ones who can actually ejaculate.
That is correct. That's squirting.
That's right.
Yes, we've talked about squirting.
As women build up to an orgasm, their periurethral sponge, that's
a hell of a word.
Yes,
periurethral.
Mm-hmm. That's the area that surrounds the urethra just below the bladder.
Right.
What that does is it fills up with fluid, and sometimes that results in a release known as female ejaculation.
Yes.
Well, we talk about everything on this show. And, you know, a very popular subject these days that that we haven't got into that deeply is butt play.
Oh.
You know, sometimes...
I guess we're getting into it, the butt deeply right now.
Well, something we know you should not be afraid of, but, you know, we get emails almost every day on this subject. And
We do get a lot of emails on this.
Yes. And how to get started. So
Just do it.
we found a beginner's guide to butt stuff.
Can't find that just anywhere.
Well, anyway, no matter how sexually adventurous you are, I mean, it is normal to feel some kind of fear of, you know, letting somebody knock at your back door.
Yeah. And believe it or not, there are some rules. There are some rules to having a little bit of butt play. Make sure you read them.
Absolutely. And, you know, we know this and hear this a lot because of that client that we have.
Oh my God,
who
it's so
is
funny.
in the porno industry.
Yeah, one of my friends, she's not actually in the porno industry. She works for a company that sells pornography. And so when she's, you know, emailing or doing whatever she's doing, sending out these different things, everything has to do with the butt. It's all about the butt. So anyway, aside from that, she's constantly sharing funny stories with us about the butt and about the people who call. Some of these callers are hilarious. They're like, you know, hey, so and so, is there any way you can send me this immediately? I need it immediately. I have a date tonight. Well, you live in California and I'm in New Jersey, so you're not going to get this. You know, our warehouse is in New Jersey. You're not going to get this tonight. Maybe you can make your date next week. And, you know, she just jokes around with them a lot because they need their butt play stuff
to know
immediately.
Yeah, this is crazy. And the same with us. People ask us about it all the time.
Oh, people ask us all kinds of things.
It's
Wait till I
amazing.
tell you what somebody asked me the other day.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was good. I'll share that with everybody on the radio too.
Well, I don't know. I guess a lot of people can have hang-ups about it for several reasons. And says Tammy Nelson. She is a PhD and author of Getting the Sex You Want, Shed Your Inhibitions, and Reach New Heights of Passion Together.
Wow.
So, and
That's serious.
and people ask her questions about butt play all the time also.
Oh, really?
So those and those things can vary from concerns about it hurting to worrying about if it's going to be dirty, and not in a good way. But you know, here's the thing: if you're not involving, this is what she says, if you're not involving your derriere in the bedroom, you might be missing out on the chance for some serious sex life upgrade. Is what she said.
A serious sex life upgrade.
That's
Wow.
right. So it is something worth trying.
Wow, that's interesting.
So even if it makes you, a little squeamish, your clitoris isn't the only thing below the belt that's packed with nerves.
Oh God, there's nerves everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We are a nervy.
we are a nervy group here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nerve and vascular supply in that area. The concentrated nerves and vessels mean the sensations involving that area, between your vagina and your rectum, can feel like really extra pronounced.
Oh, there's a lot of nerves there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, and if you're ready to give it a shot, the first step is to have some serious conversation about it with your partner. I mean, wouldn't you-
Absolutely.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, you need to discuss that.
you know, the feeling can be amazing there, so I'm told. Now,
Okay, then.
okay, don't worry if it's not sexy. Just making sure you're ready, will help you fully focus on the pleasure. So,
Do a little research.
yeah.
Google
and
it.
You can start by asking your partner, whether he or she has ever thrown their hat into that anal ring and how they liked it. Then you can explain why you're so intrigued by it. That bunch of nerves just waiting to be stimulated information comes in handy here.
Wow. Lot of good stuff here. If anybody needs some information, feel free to email me at trendradio920@gmail.com. I'll send you any taint information along with a $50 gift certificate to Anthony Vincent Salon. Why not, get your hair done before you get your taint on?
And we'll have a video for you from our friend at the warehouse. Anyway, so what you do with your partner is you can explain that you've wanted to try it, but were afraid to ask. So work through your butt play anxiety together.
Absolutely. You'll be glad you did.
Explore the uncharted sexual territory, and it can turn into a real bonding experience.
Definitely calls for a fun night.
And once you're both on the same page, it's time to stock up on the lube.
Tain't that the truth?
Now, your sphincter muscle is much tighter than your vagina. So after some foreplay, it will loosen up.
Thank you, Dr. Love.
And, if you're, if you are going to start with the little toys, you have to make sure there's a way to get those toys back out, like having a string or a flared base.
Okay. That was quite a visual.
Well, I guess what happens, things can get stuck.
Yes. Yes.
Isn't there something with the craziest
Yes.
ER emergencies?
Yes.
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 I remember.
I don't think we need to talk about
We don't.
those.
Okay. For some women, the thought of, fecal material possibly getting involved with sexual play is really not inviting, and they become
But I'm sure
intimidated.
that's typically not the norm.
No. And there's a few things you can do to mitigate that risk. A good shower, clean that area well, it should remove any of your concerns. And, if that's not enough for you, and then soothe your mind, pick up a drugstore enema, and that will help.
That is true.
So with all of the aforementioned preparation, you should be good to go. If at any point you start to feel uncomfortable or are in any kind of uncomfortableness, feel free
Just say no.
to the drugs.
Just tell your partner that you're just not ready yet
No.
and talk some more about it.
But before you say no, you can pause, you can readjust, and you can try it again. Then you can put it on the shelf for another day. All right, we're going to take a quick break.
Trend Radio continues after this on 920 The Jersey.
Need a salon that's about the whole you? Precision haircuts, flawless makeup, impeccable nails, top-rated professional hair products. Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a hairstylist who has his finger on the pulse of all the latest trends? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a dependable salon with over 35 years in the industry? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for New York City and internationally trained stylists that will create the perfect look for you? Anthony Vincent Salon. Shine brightly while walking down the aisle. Anthony Vincent Salon. For a longer, thicker, beautiful beautiful hair extensions, Anthony Vincent Salon. Incredible makeup applications for weddings, proms, or any special occasions. Anthony Vincent Salon. Have dry, brittle summer hair? Get a hot shot. Anthony Vincent Salon. Before you put a ring on it, manicure it. Anthony Vincent Salon. Your image is their specialty. For the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Anthony Vincent Salon. For a more beautiful you, call now 609-448-2212 and follow them on Twitter.
I'm Anthony Vincent of Anthony Vincent Salon. Time for another fun and fabulous beauty tip with our tip chick. And here she is.
Got lips? Want that perfect pout? Find the hue that's right for you. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Shape, stain, and shimmer. Same shade. Say hello to beautiful.
Email us now from AnthonyVincentSalon.com. Remember, for the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Call us now at 609-448-2212. You'll be glad you did.
And we're back with Elise and Anthony Vincent. We are Trend Radio, where we talk about relationship, love, lust, and sex.
Mostly sex.
That's right. So, most of us feel great after having sex or sleepy, but some people feel sad after sex.
Well, there's a lot of emotion that goes on.
That's right. And, sadness after sex is a real condition.
Is it really?
It really is. Believe it or not, it's common for men and women to feel a little depressed after sex, even if it was awesome, mind-blowing sex.
So why is that then?
Well, there's actually a real name for this real condition.
What is it?
It's called tristesse, PCT.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really? So what exactly is that?
Okay, well, it comes from a Latin phrase and a French word called tristesse. and
These words today.
Yes, and it literally means sadness.
Oh.
And a lot of people...
Now, why would you be sad after sex? I mean, I understand the emotions. I understand there are so many different reasons that could be, but why?
Well, many people who suffer from this PCT, they experience these strong feelings of sorrow, anxiety, and an uneasiness anywhere from immediately after sex to up to about 2 hours later. Now you ask, why does this happen?
Really? Yes. I ask, why does this happen?
I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
It involves hormones.
Ah.
And how do we make a hormone?
We don't pay her.
That's right.
Yeah. But reality check, the hormones, why is that happening?
It involves the hormone called prolactin. Now,
Okay.
Women have this hormone to make milk, but men have it too. What it does is your body
Do men get sad after sex too?
Some of us do.
I wasn't talking about you, but I'm just saying, can this happen to men and women?
Yes, it happens to men and women. And what it does, your body creates this hormone called prolactin right after an orgasm. And that's to counteract the release of dopamine.
Ah.
That's the hormone responsible for sexual arousal. So the prolactin is believed to cause these feelings of melancholy.
Oh.
Now, Elise, sex should not be sad. Sex is fun. We should have some fun facts about orgasms.
Yes.
Especially for National Orgasm Day.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Absolutely.
It is real National Orgasm Day. Amazing.
That is real. That is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing at all. So when is National Orgasm Day?
Well, we missed it.
We missed it?
Yes.
Damn.
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
National Orgasm Day is July 31st.
Oh, okay. So middle of the summer. We'll have to remember that for next year and really get something good.
What we're going to do is we're going to get all of our listeners to orgasm all at the same time. That sounds like fun.
Yes, that does.
What are you saying? That they fake orgasm?
It's possible. Oh, God. I'll have what she's having.
If you know what movie that famous orgasm is from, email us now at trendradio920@gmail.com. I will send you a $50 gift certificate from Anthony Vincent Salon.
You know, when I was married, I was never allowed to orgasm. You know, there's a lot about orgasms we still don't understand.
Like what?
Well, you know, we don't understand it because all the blood rushes from our brains to other parts of our body. So
why don't we understand it?
Oh, that was a joke. Good. Anyway, luckily, Match.com Singles in America survey asked over 5,000 singles about their sex lives. And we have to admit, some of the findings were very peculiar.
Peculiar?
Peculiar.
Like the cucumber?
Like the cucumber. Cucumber's funny. Hey, who knew your emoji usage could predict how easily you orgasm?
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
That is true.
Or how often you think about sex.
Yeah.
And here's some interesting facts. People who smoke weed have more orgasms.
I can understand that. You're completely uninhibited.
And relaxed.
When you're high.
Yeah. Yeah, the pot smokers surveyed were 109% more likely to have multiple orgasms.
I completely understand that. I believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And being politically active pays off. We're not a political show.
We're not. But why would politics matter when it comes to your orgasms?
Well, you know, people who are more passionate about politics are passionate about their
everything.
Sex. Yeah,
I think people who are passionate about anything is passionate. You know, they would have, you know, a nice orgasm there.
That's right. And they have more multiple orgasms and more orgasms in general.
Interesting.
And we talked about this last week. Faking orgasms isn't something just women do.
See, now, I don't understand this. I don't know how a guy fakes an orgasm. Because don't you have to ejaculate to have an orgasm?
Well, a lot of times the girls aren't paying attention.
I don't understand that. I just don't understand that. Can you explain that to me? Because I just don't understand that.
I can't. I can't. I can't. No matter what I say, you won't understand it.
I don't understand that. That I don't get.
But 37% of men in Match's survey said that they faked an orgasm.
How do you fake it if you're a guy? Okay.
Jeez.
But but wait a second. I just...
That's how you fake it. I guess. Anyway, the most common reasons that were cited was because both men and women weren't enjoying the sex they were having. And they wanted to show their partner that they love them. And then third, because they were too drunk to finish.
Oh.
Now, the first two reasons were also top reasons for women faking an orgasm. And also the most important one was to boost their partner's self-esteem. That was what's important.
That I understand. I understand trying to boost your partner's self-esteem, but I don't understand how the girl doesn't realize that the guy is faking.
Well, she might have an ego also. You know, did you ever hear?
Because you can feel that, and see that.
I wouldn't know.
I'm just saying, you would know because you're the one doing it. So you wouldn't. I mean, as a guy can feel, you can feel that. Women can feel that. I don't understand a woman who would be dumb enough to be in a situation where her partner is faking an orgasm and she doesn't get it. I understand how a girl can do it, but not a guy.
Well, as you well know, many women can't even name the parts of their vagina. So how would they know there was extra fluid in there?
No, that they know.
All righty. I'm not going to argue with you. It's no win.
Come on.
Well, getting back to Match's survey, do you know that our parents and grandparents were getting off more than us?
Really?
Mm-hmm. We talked about this a few weeks ago.
Okay. You mean you're talking like age-oriented right here?
Yeah.
You're talking about millennial. Oh, there's a reason for that.
Yeah, millennials.
Do you know
Millennials
why?
are having 12% fewer orgasms
Do you know why?
than the baby boomers.
Do you know the reason why?
No.
Because millennials are just so off in another world. They're off with their electronics. They're off with their work. They're off with their socialization. They're just so off. They don't even, most millennials, unfortunately, these days don't even have real relationships. They have serious, texting relationships.
Well, if you remember a few months ago, we did a show about millennials and the fake boyfriends and girlfriends.
Yeah,
that
they
text them.
they have everything.
You hire a company.
Yeah,
to,
I know. And
text
that's
you.
what's so crazy. There's no down to earth for these people right now.
Well, they just don't know.
It's true.
That's why they're Bernie supporters. They just don't know.
But we are not a political show.
No. Now, redheads got it best.
And why is that?
No reason why, but for whatever reason, single women with red hair have the most orgasms.
Really?
Yes, followed by blondes.
Real blondes or fake blondes?
No, they got to be real. So
I wonder why that is.
If there are any real redheads out there,
because I don't.
Email us. I want to meet you.
I can't understand that. I also happen to think I know a lot of brunettes that have multiple orgasms multiple times during the week. I know quite a few of them.
Well, do you know any redheads?
I do, and
let's
I
ask them.
do. I also know some real blondes, and I'm telling you, the brunettes win every time.
You know what?
Do you know
Let's
I
ask
know
them.
a real blonde that actually goes to meet her boyfriend for an afternoon romp, and her hair still looks good afterwards. I'm sorry, that's crazy to me.
No comment.
Exactly.
Well, if you want to get off, Miami is the place. 60% of singles orgasm 90 to 100% of each of their sexual encounters.
Okay, is that when they're on vacation in Miami or they live there?
I don't know. Doesn't say. It just says 60% of singles in Miami.
That's interesting.
90% will orgasm every time. And, you were talking about the millennials and the texting and the
Yes.
nerdy type thing. But
No, I wasn't saying anything about nerds.
Oh, you weren't?
Millennials and nerds are completely different
Oh, they
things.
are? Oh.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So technical nerds, they're the ones doing something right. Despite what the stereotypes might lead you to believe, people working in computers and electronics have more orgasms than any other profession.
Okay, so listen to this. The Big Bang Theory. You know how they're all scientists, they're all nerds,
Oh, yeah,
they're
yeah.
all having sex all the time because you know what? They're smart and they know what feels good.
I'll be darned.
Think about that for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And of course, we had a show a couple of weeks ago about emoji flirting.
Yep, very good for your sex life.
Very good. And women who use the lips and kissing emoji, they have more orgasms with their partner.
Interesting. Very, very interesting. Or maybe they have more orgasms and they just send that to their friend.
Oh. Okay. Well, anyway, in celebrating Orgasm Day, there's a website called OMG Yes. And they posted a bunch of different ways to touch a vagina.
Oh my gosh.
I only thought there was one way.
With your fingers or with your toes or with this or with that. Uh-huh.
Well, what's the saying? If your nose, I guess this is with a short girl and a tall guy.
Oh my gosh. I can only imagine what he's going to say.
If you're toe to toe, your nose is in it. If you're nose to nose, your toe is in it or something. Is that the saying?
I don't know what
Oh,
the
you
saying
wouldn't know
is.
anyway.
I don't know that.
Well, in case you haven't heard about it, there's an entire website dedicated to female sexual pleasure, and it's called OMG Yes. And it explains with detailed tutorials and video demonstrations how to touch a vagina. And it even lets you practice on virtual lady parts.
Really? Mm-hmm. So you
If you
touch
have
your
like
screen?
Yes, if you have a touchpad. Now,
That's interesting.
so if you're an owner of a vagina, or you or you have an ongoing relationship with someone else's vagina, you might think you already know everything there is to know.
But you don't.
You don't. Based on research with more than 2,000 women in partnership with Indiana University, the website presents several different techniques that seems to work well for masturbation and partner touch.
Really?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
then. Let's hear this.
Alrighty, I took a look at some of the suggestions on OMG Yes, and for science and this show, of course.
Yes,
And
of course.
Here are some of the most interesting methods that I read about, and one is called accenting.
Accenting? It's called accenting.
Accenting. The website found that you can be a righty or a lefty when it comes to your clitoris, as well as your hands. And about 1 in 8 women prefer more attention to the right side of their clitoris, while the same
Very
number
interesting.
preferred more attention to the left side.
Really?
Yeah, so the website suggests...
I guess they would suggest that you try both and see which one is preferred.
That's right.
Oh, so try both sides, ladies, of your clitoris and see which one you like better. Interesting.
And then there was rhythm, which is not the Catholic method of birth control.
I got rhythm. I got music. I got my man. Who could ask for anything more?
But
Well, I could understand where rhythm would make a difference. You would just basically have different motion and, a bump, 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 that kind of thing.
a
And
bump, bump, bump.
yeah,
that-
pausing here and there, skipping every other motion,
Well, yes, you're right. There are a few different rhythms.
doing
that
one
you-
motion continuously, that kind of thing.
Yeah, very fast or very slow.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
To the side, not to the side. Hmm. Yeah. Got it.
I used to have a girlfriend. To the left. Harder.
Okay.
Don't get so hard.
Yeah, hopefully
What's
she
the
didn't
matter
speak
with you?
like that.
Don't you know nothing?
What's the next one?
To surprise them.
Surprise.
Surprise.
Who doesn't love a surprise?
That's right. And that's one way to enhance your pleasure is to keep your toes by switching up the rhythm or the motion. And 65% of women say that they like the motion constantly changing.
Oh, yeah.
And 76% say they like having the motion repeated a few times and then altered.
Oh, sounds really good.
And have you ever heard of edging?
Oh my God, yes, I actually have heard of
You
this
have.
one. Yes,
Of course you
I've
have.
heard of this one, yes.
Mm-hmm. There are a few different ways that you and your partner can intensify your orgasm by building up the anticipation. And that's in any relationship. You want to build up anticipation.
Absolutely.
And what do we say?
It keeps the attraction high.
That's right.
Yes, that's very, very important.
Yes, and
Yeah,
no
do
matter
that
how
all the time.
young or old your relationship
Do that
is.
all the time. And then about every 10 days, you'll have a little bit of a slump, but you get right back
You
out
get
of it.
right back, yes.
Yeah.
And that's what we find. It's about 10 days.
Yeah.
Now, what you do, you want to build up the anticipation, then completely stop all touch right before the orgasm.
Oh.
Then resume once the feeling subsides. And maybe by touching somewhere else to distract your
that
body
just distracts your
temporarily.
body. Yeah.
Yep. Or,
Interesting.
you can continuously switch, the kind of touch that brings you to orgasm.
With like less intense
Right.
touches. I see.
Now,
Wow.
multiples. We're talking about multiple orgasms here.
Okay, what about it?
According to OMG Yes, many women think they can't have multiple orgasms.
We've had this conversation. Do not worry about that. Do not sweat it. Okay? You can. Only 47% of women have multiple orgasms according to OMG Yes, but you can. So if you're in that other 53%,
relax.
Email us, trendradio920@gmail.com. We will tell you.
I will show you how to get
We
an
will
orgasm.
tell you how. He's not showing you anything.
You know.
And what's the last one?
You
I
are
know.
no fun as a hostess anymore.
Oh, I
You
am.
used to be the hostess with the mostest. Now you just stop me from having fun.
I am the most fun you'll ever have, buddy. What's the next one?
They're the most fun I've ever had with my clothes on. I will say that. Framing. Now, I didn't quite understand this, but you know, how you think about your orgasm or how you frame it can have a drastic effect on your pleasure. And the woman interviewed by OMG Yes often said, for example, that thinking about orgasm actually kept them from having one.
Yes. Now, I can understand what that would happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes you just have to stop thinking about it, just relax and let go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you think about it too much.
Yeah.
For partner, the key to helping women reach the finish line is enjoying the process.
Yes, because it's the journey that's so important, not the destination.
That's
the
right.
destination's important, but not as much as the journey.
Nearly as much as the journey.
Exactly.
The journey is the fun part. You know, once you get there, you're going to go to sleep.
Oh, no.
You know, one technique on this website that helps some women, they say, is setting a timer and agreeing that for a predetermined amount of time, she and her partner will focus on her pleasure. She won't have to do anything, not participate, not reciprocate, not make a noise, and not orgasm.
Oh, but that's
a-
interesting.
That's a bunch of bull.
I've never heard of that. That's wouldn't she want to reciprocate? That's interesting.
You
wow.
know what? Don't go to this website. So, all this touching of the vagina.
What, it turned you on?
No. I have my own vagina to touch. Thank you very much. But before you can have your vagina touched, you got to know the signs that men like you.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise,
so what are
no
the
one
signs?
will ever touch your vagina.
Ay.
So,
What are the signs?
alrighty. It's the oldest tale in romance. Boy likes girl, boy teases girl on the playground.
Boy pulls girl's hair.
Boy pulls her hair, boy chases girl. And then boy and girl live happily ever after.
After girl cries, then girl decides she likes her hair to be pulled.
Yes, it starts early and then it continues from there.
Exactly.
And girl loves having boy pull her hair.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
As long as she has hair.
And, you know, the signs are that he likes you. And they aren't always obvious, or they're not even particularly conducive to love. So guys are dumb.
Yes.
And sometimes, he sends clear signals. He can text you. He can call you. He can send you a dozen roses.
Sometimes he's not clear at all. Sometimes he sends no flowers, no texts.
Don't send the flowers.
No
Don't
calls.
do that.
Sometimes he sends nothing. Okay? And she's like, what?
Sometimes he may actually tell you that he likes you.
And sometimes he forgets.
Right. Just don't be creepy or weird. That's all. So anyway, when this happens, it's crazy to feel secure.
Yes. And security is so important.
That's right. He likes you. You like him. The world is full of rainbows and kittens.
But when you're feeling like he doesn't like you and that he's not there for you and you're not feeling secure with him, there are no more rainbows or kittens.
That's right. And the signs that a guy likes you are very vague and they're confusing.
So what are they?
And sometimes you practically need a decoder ring to figure out what the heck is going on.
So what are they?
Alrighty. Here are a few common yet subtle ways that a man hints that he likes you without actually saying it. He gets very serious and quiet. You know, one of the signs that a guy likes you is his level of seriousness.
Yeah,
you know,
I can understand that.
he might seem quiet and even come off as a little boring.
Sometimes he just doesn't know what to say, or it's
Right.
overwhelming.
You know, he's asking you to tell him about your job. And, you know, it seems like he's conducting an interview, but he's merely playing it safe.
Okay, what's the next one?
Well, another sign that that a man likes you involves his approach, like waiting exactly 3 days to call you.
Oh, doing by the book.
Yeah.
What he thinks is by the book.
That's
Yeah,
right.
you don't always need to do that, but
And you know, he
I understand
fears that he might make a mistake and that he might be spontaneous, and he's uncomfortable with that.
okay, I could understand that.
So his approach is subdued. Now, believe it or not, one of the signs that he really likes you is when he insults you. You know, and he's very awkward in his attempt to create an emotional spark.
I don't think he's purposely insulting you, though.
No, it's just he's awkward. And,
Yeah.
you know, he might even try to joke with you or flirt with you, and he's bad at it. Most guys are.
Mm-hmm.
So give him a chance. You know, he's only trying to
Give him a
connect
chance
with you.
if you like him.
Well, you don't know because he hasn't shown you who he is because he doesn't know how.
Yes, but
so
if
banter
there's
with him.
Exactly.
You're a good banter. You know, most men are
Most
still
women can
awkward
banter.
little boys.
Most men are, yes.
That's
I agree
right.
with you
He's
there.
trying to be playful. Play with him. Now, I can relate with this one. You know, he's cocky.
And he brags.
Yeah.
And he's boastful. Yes.
That's me. Well, you know, ironically, that's one of the biggest signs that he loves coming across to
Because
you.
he wants you to think he's all that.
That's right. Cockiness and bragging aren't really things that women are looking for. So oftentimes men brag in an attempt to build value. They want to impress you.
I understand that.
You've been listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. You want more? Go right to our website, 920thejersey.com, click on demand, and scroll directly to us.
And get the lowdown on getting down. Tune into your bad boy inside you.
Or your bad girl.
Listen each week. We always have something sexy to say. Got questions? Email us now at trendradio920@gmail.com. You'll be glad you did.
And remember, your smile is your logo, your personality is your business card.
But how you make people feel, well, that becomes your trademark.
I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
And we'll talk to you next week.
Bye for now.